Man, I wanted so bad for Subnautica 2 to turn out fucking amazing. But no. Nope, I expected too much. I should have known that it was going to happen like this. It was going to go down like this because we can't ever have anything nice. I should have known after Subnautica Below Zero. Subnautica 1, by the way. One of my favorite games of all time. Also one of my most played games of all time. I've probably got 1,000 hours in Subnautica. I played it when it first came out in early access, when it was completely messed up and broken, when Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, all those guys were playing it, and I played it all the way up until the full release, and then I played the full release from start to finish, and it was absolutely amazing. I loved every second of it, and all that's ruined.
What's up, space pirates? This is your Admiral, the compassionately cold-hearted Dr. Disaster, and the drama surrounding Subnautica 2 just continues to get more interesting every day. The now ousted founders of Unknown Worlds are sparring with the people at Krafton like angry badgers fighting over turf.
Whoa. Do not buy Subnautica 2. The publisher Krafton has fired all 3 original founders of Unknown Worlds. What? And delayed the game to 2026 so that devs wouldn't receive $250 million in bonuses. Okay, excuse me? What is happening here? This sounds like a major lawsuit. It sounds like they fired these people and delayed it so they wouldn't have to pay them. That's legit what that sounds like to me from reading this. I don't know how true this is. Do not support these shady business practices. Do not buy Subnautica 2. Well, I'm probably not going to be doing that. I'm probably not going to be buying Subnautica 2.
And I'm over here just smirking and going,
Are we having fun or what?
But I will give it, if it's a good game, if it's great, I don't even really care. Because honestly, I don't care that much about developers. If it turns out Subnautica 2 is fucking amazing, I don't care. I'll buy it, unless it's gonna be like $80.
Now, to be clear, I don't have a dog in this fight at all. As far as I'm concerned, Krafton is the sort of soulless corporate entity that is no good for video games. They are the sort who would gladly sell their grandma's house and make...
I've never heard of these people. I've never heard of Krafton. But with this lineup of games right here, not looking so good.
...are homeless for a quick buck. But on the other side of the fight, the guys who founded Unknown Worlds and developed the Subnautica games are well known to have buckled under social pressure to the woke mob, firing developers in the past who liked tweets from people like Paul Joseph Watson who don't agree with the woke politics. Therefore, I can look at both warring parties and say,
good riddance to bad rubbish.
But we do have some news in this drama that has just come out.
I don't want to say things before I have enough information, but why did you let this company take you over? Why? Was it so you could get more funding to make a bigger game? These people, they do this shit to themselves because they're always wanting more and more money to make a bigger and better game than the last one. Why not just move on? Why not just move on? Make something else. I'm probably going to be following the developers of Subnautica 2, or the ones that got fired, Unknown Worlds, those guys, because they'll probably end up making a better game than Subnautica 2.
As we've talked about, Subnautica 2 has been delayed. The early access was going to start at some point this year, but now it's been pushed back, and both sides are blaming each other, and now the news is that someone has leaked images from an internal review of Subnautica 2 talking about how all this happened.
I can guarantee you we're gonna start seeing microtransactions in Subnautica 2. What do you want to bet?
What's more, Krafton actually just came out and confirmed that these leaked documents are true. Both sides are pointing at these leaked documents and trying to use them to win in the court of public opinion, but at the end of the day, I am a schadenfreude enthusiast who is just plain giddy at all of the chaos. These two sides are getting in each other.
Dude, why would you even make that deal? Why would you even make that like, if... Why would you make a $250 million deal? How much did this game cost to make? That's probably where this stems from. This game probably cost $250 million to make. And they were like, oh, I don't think we can pay $250 million more. That'd be $500 million. That's fucking insane.
There's faces, and I love it.
Are you suggesting fisticuffs? As in with our fists and feet? I'm a kicker.
I'm the guy in the corner yelling out this shit here.
Kick his ass, Seabass!
Subscribe to Dr. Disaster, link down there in the description. Watch all of his videos, every single one of them. Dude's based.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I've begun uploading some content onto Rumble as well, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster on that site too.
I might start posting Rumble soon. Not too soon, it might be a couple months. But whenever I start live streaming.
Also, give me a follow
Again.
over on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. But let's take a look at what we can learn from these leaked documents that have come out of this Subnautica situation. Now, as you can see here, there is a lot of information to parse through with these documents. But fortunately, I have someone here who has already gone through a bunch of the info for us, so we're going to look at what friend of the channel, Master of the TDS, had to say about the documents over on X.
Hey, that's that guy that's on Smash JT Live's channel sometimes. I like that guy.
He wrote here, potential leak from inside unknown worlds and Krafton. According to the internal slides shown below, the scope of Subnautica 2 was not just reduced, it was restructured multiple times during development.
Bro, yeah, this sounds like a complete fucking disaster. Whenever that kind of stuff happens, if this game releases in 2026, I think it's going to be garbage. They'll probably delay it again. Because this sounds like an absolute disaster. And that's they probably could smell disaster in the air. And they were like, oh shit, we're obligated to pay this $250 million no matter what? Fuck, what have we gotten ourselves into?
The documents outline several major changes. Major systems like biomods and ecosystem restoration were removed. Narrative content was cut from 2 chapters, 13 to 16 hours, down to 1 chapter, 8 to 10 hours. So this kind of makes it sound like maybe the developers themselves were the ones changing things up, limiting the scope of the content in the game in order to make sure that Subnautica 2 would be finished and released this year so that they could get their $250 million bonus for hitting their sales targets.
Yeah, it sounds like garbage all around, honestly.
As a quick recap, if you aren't familiar or don't remember what the fight is between these two parties, when Krafton bought out Unknown Worlds a few years ago,
And that's when they released Subnautica Below Zero, right?
paid $500 million to acquire it. But a part of the agreement allowed for an additional $250 million that would get paid out if the studio hit certain sales targets by the end of 2025. In other words, the people at Unknown Worlds had 250 million reasons for wanting Subnautica 2 to release in 2025, and Krafton would obviously not want the game to be released too early. So
Yeah, I can see that. I can see them trying to rush it so they can get that 250 million. And that's just fucking gross. Yeah, I don't like anybody involved in this. I don't like Krafton, and I don't like Unknown Worlds, if that's what they were doing. That's what it's sounding like to me that they were doing.
So, getting back to this post on X, if the game was being shrunk down in scope, that makes it sound like something the developers would do in order to ensure that they could release the game early and hit their sales targets. But before we pronounce them guilty, let's read the next part. Master of the TDS wrote, features that were removed were then replaced with entirely new systems like farming, automation, and online integration.
No! Online integration? Get that out of here! I don't want that! I don't want that. Subnautica, maybe have like a co-op function. No online integration. No thank you. Get that shit out of here.
Some are claiming the developers failed to deliver, but the data tells a different story. When the scope shifts this often, consistent delivery becomes nearly impossible. So this makes it sound...
Yeah, it sounds like a complete disaster. They didn't actually know what they were doing. They were just guessing. They didn't have an outline. They were just like, well, we got to make it bigger and better than the first two games.
Like Krafton was jerking the developers around in a transparent attempt to prolong development of the game and push it back to next year.
Yeah, it seems like Krafton was trying to prolong the development so they wouldn't have to pay $250 million, and it seems like Unknown Worlds was trying to rush development so they can get paid $250 million. It sounds like garbage all around.
And then another friend of the channel, Jay Viper, replied to Master the TDS, and I found their discussion on the topic to be thought-provoking. We're gonna read it. Jay said, I wonder if the leads kept reducing it to meet that $250 million deadline, and Master of the TDS wrote back, I get that's what it looks like, but if you look at it closer, they were not just cutting down things, they were changing things mid-development. Given how the devs handled the first game, I don't see them being the ones to do that. This looks like Krafton. And Jay replied, so...
Yeah, but they were also working with inconveniences, and that's how you innovate. When you're being inconvenienced. It sounds like money is what destroyed this whole operation. And you know what? Congratulations. When you worry about money, when you're trying to build a passion project, trying to make as much money as possible, it crumbles. How fucking about that? How about it? I'm actually happy about this. Fuck Subnautica 2. I'm definitely not going to be buying it now. Unless it somehow is going to be a 10 out of 10, I don't see that happening.
Krafton was reducing scope seems odd, unless they were planning to use it for DLC or something. They are mobile-based, so slimy tactics...
I don't want any DLC. Like, it just sounds like everything they were doing with this game, at least from what I've seen from this video, because I haven't seen anything else about Subnautica 2. Like, it just seems like I don't want this game because it's not going to be like the first one. And I already didn't like Subnautica Below Zero because it was kind of woke slop garbage. It was pretty fun, I guess. I didn't like the weather mechanics. You know, the hot and the cold mechanics. I didn't really like that. I'm fine with the heat mechanics of the first one because that's how you progress. That's how you go deeper. I don't like that different areas. You know what I mean? I might give it another shot, but I tried playing it before. I couldn't finish it. And I didn't like the main character. Just make a silent character.
Aren't off the table. And TDS then replied, no, they were adding things. It looks like they were reducing scope, but also adding things and scrapping others while adjusting the scope. Almost like they didn't know what they wanted the game to be. Jay then said, interesting, this looks like 2 slides of a full meeting, wonder what else there is, and TDS said back, that's unfortunately all we got. I'm inclined to be on the side of the devs because I played both Subnautica and Subnautica Below Zero in early access, and I saw just how much they care about the game and the team, but we will have to wait and see.
I think Below Zero was pretty woke. I didn't like it. I mean, it was alright. I just couldn't with it. The main character, it just got me. It didn't have the same vibes as the first one. It was a little too much.
And yeah, about the only bit of information that we know for sure is that, as I mentioned before, Krafton has come out and officially announced that these leaks are authentic. It's rare that a company does that. Usually, leaked documents are just plain ignored by big companies like this. There has to be a reason that they admitted these were real. Makes me wonder if they think this proves their case, that the developers were being lazy or greedy or whatever, trying to shrink the game in order to make sure it can get released this year. But one thing sounds certain to me, both sides sound guilty of putting money ahead of the product.
Exactly. That's exact. Thank you, Dr. Disaster. I thought he was going to be like the master of TDS, being like, well, I'm on the side of the devs on this one. Nope. Fuck them all. Fuck both sides. Fuck this game.
At this point, I wonder if anyone actually cares about the quality of Subnautica 2.
I don't.
It sounds like a game that ought to be avoided at
Yep.
this point by gamers almost at all costs. At
Yep.
least until we find out whether or not it's actually any good.
Yeah, don't pre-order. Don't buy day one. It's the things that people always say when it comes to buying games. Don't pre-order. Do not buy day one. You don't know how this game is gonna be. Oh, games are always broken on day one. What if they don't fix it and you bought it and you play the time past the point of getting a refund and then you're just fucked? Happens all the time and time again.
But either way, I'm going to leave it there. Which side do you generally believe in this conflict? Or are you...
I don't give a shit about game devs of any game. If their game is good, their game is good. Sometimes these devs make really bad decisions, really bad games. That's why I cannot get on board with them. They make really bad decisions. Like, I said it before, From Software is a great example of this, where, like, I'll buy a From Software game if it's going to be really, really good, like Elden Ring or Dark Souls. But I'm not going to buy Elden Ring Night Rain, because it's just not something that I'm going to be into. It has a lot of problems. I don't like the online implementation. You know what I mean? And that's not even a problematic game. That's probably a pretty fucking good game. Just not what I'm into. So I'm not going to buy it. And Subnautica 2 seems like I ain't going to be into it. Especially if the original devs are gone and it's being taken over by the people who ruined PUBG.
You like me, just over here eating popcorn and enjoying as these two sides rip each other apart. Drop your thoughts into the comment section below.
Absolute
and we will talk there.
cinema.
Thanks for watching me, Hearties. If
This situation is diabolical. And if anything else comes out about it, I'm going to be talking about it because I fucking love Subnautica 1 and Subnautica Below Zero is alright. Like, comment, and subscribe. Ding the bell for all notifications. Also, I got a gaming channel down there in the description.